Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Hartley with Action Coach. What needs to pivot in my business, kickstart your day, get you refocused, because business is changing daily right now. Well, good day to everybody. I am Dr. Michael Hartley. I'm a non-medical type of doctor. I operate on business. I was fortunate enough to build my very first business in 2007 and very candidly completely failed over and over again, and have learned through mentors and guidance from coaches and whatnot on how to actually build business to work and run without you. And the thing that we share every single day on this webinar is the key things on you and then in your business that need to pivot to make sure that you're properly prepared every step of the way. And if you're not good, your business won't be either. So we have to focus on our mindset. And what are we doing to shift and pivot our mindset to kind of where it needs to be on a very consistent basis? Which brings us to right here, standards. What are the standards that you've set in your life? What are the standards that you have set in your business? What are the standards you set in your family? What's your standard of mindset? Where are you at? You see, when you look at what your business provides, how do you link it to where people's standards of their mindset and life should be? How do you link it to what they're longing to have? And what I'll share with you is people long to have happiness. People long to have fun in life. So how do you link what you do to their happiness? For what it's worth, it starts with making sure you're linking it to your happiness. If what you do every single day doesn't bring you joy, doesn't fulfill you, doesn't add to the values that you have in life, then it's not the right path for you. You see, what's your standard on values? What's your standard on beliefs? You know, and by the way, I don't care what the business is, I guarantee you can link what you do and how you do it and why you do it, not necessarily in that order, to other people's happiness, because that's truly what they're looking for in this moment. Give a quick example. Ray Kroc founded this hamburger company called McDonald's. Could you imagine him being in this right now, about to open up a hamburger store, and hearing the thing that, oh, well, you need to link your hamburger shop to happiness? Yet he did. He made the mascot of McDonald's a clown. Their number one selling item on their menu is the Happy Meal. You see, if he can link a hamburger and some fries and a Coke to happiness, I guarantee you can. So how do you link what you're doing to other people's happiness? And then how do you make sure that it starts with yourself? Where are your standards at in all of these things? What are the standards you've set for your happiness, for your mindset, for your well-being, for your values, for your beliefs, for the infrastructure of you? How do you make sure that everything that you've set there, how do you make sure that everything you do every single day drives towards that? And for every individual, it's going to be different. For each person, it's going to be different for where they're at in this moment today, for where they want to be tomorrow, and in 10 years from now, and in 20 years from now. Most people don't think past 5. When you really start to think long term, you can make sure that everything you're doing today is leading you towards those goals. I said it over and over again. People overestimate what can be done in 1 year and underestimate what can be done in 10. So what are the standards you've set in your business? What are the standards you set in your life? What are the standards you have set for your mindset? When we look at what you're looking to build out in your life, guess who's looking at you right now? Guess who's watching how you respond or react to what's going on? Your kids. Our kids are watching us. They're learning from us right now. They're seeing how we respond or react to situations, to life, to business, to health. They're watching us. And whether you know it or not, you're teaching them. And I'm not talking about school stuff. I'm talking about how they view the world. Our kids are watching us in this moment to see how they should perceive the world in this time. It's a heavy responsibility. So how do we make sure we are where we need to be? Because when we talk about leadership and mentorship and things like that, it has to start internally to make sure that our health and our mindset is good, to make sure the standards we've set are being adhered to. Because then we can take it to the next level. Then we can lead our communities. Then we can lead our family. Then we can lead our teams. So when you look back at this chapter in life, what's the story you're going to tell? What are the pages that have been written going to say? What's your book? We're all writing one. Our life is a book, and this is a chapter in it. What's the title of this chapter going to say for you? And what should it say? What are the glass ceilings that we've given ourselves? What are those things that we have said, you know what, I just don't think I can get past? Name it. What is it? Have we set glass ceilings that we need to pivot in our values, in our beliefs, in our environment, in our activities, in the results that we think that we can actually achieve right now? So many businesses that we've talked to that necessarily haven't been preparing for this have been like, well, I can't do anything, right? I'm shut down. I can't think past tomorrow. Maybe they need to pivot some of the activities so they can pivot the intended results of what they're looking to have. If your business is completely shut down, you should be preparing for the sprint ahead. And if you're maybe on furlough, if you've been laid off of your job and you're looking at potentially building a business, then you definitely need to prepare for the sprint. Because talk to any business owner out there, you look to open doors, it's a sprint because all of a sudden you don't have a paycheck. So whether you are still in business right now, open, whether you're thriving, never done this much business in your life, or whether you're completely halted right now for a moment for this chapter, you should be preparing for the sprint ahead, because this chapter will end. We will get through it. And life is going to accelerate because everyone's going to be looking to get out of their homes. And will routines change? Absolutely. Will mindset on cleanliness and things like that change? Absolutely. Do we need to be cognizant of that and plan for it? Absolutely. Absolutely. With that said, if we're not, we're going to fall behind, because guess who is planning for it? Chances are your competitors. Chances are your competition's focused on it. Chances are people who you never even considered to be competition are focused on it. When the recession happened, 07, 08, that's when things like Airbnb and Uber were birthed. They all came out of that time because guess what? A whole bunch of people were sitting at home with nothing to do except for innovate. That's why I say all the time, the one constant in life is change. We have to be looking down how to innovate ourselves, how to innovate our business. If you're not investing in yourself right now to learn and grow every single day, you're missing the massive opportunity that lies ahead of you in this moment to prepare you for what's ahead. So what needs to pivot in some of these glass ceilings that you've set for yourself? Oftentimes it starts with the standards we've set, because we have something in our mind of what it should be. And we may need to shift that. We may need to pivot that in the moment. So, question for you. What do you value? What are the things that you value in life, in family, in business, in relationships, in parenting? What do you value? We have three things when it comes to our values that we have to kind of look at. We have systemic, extrinsic, and intrinsic. Systemic are the plans, the rules, the procedures. It's a 1 or a 0. Dog or cat, you're one or the other, right? In the animal world, I'm a human or I'm an animal. 1 or 0. It is or it is not. That's why we say, if you try to like hold up a pen kind of thing, and if I say try to drop the pen, everyone kind of just like opens their hand and the pen drops. You can't try to drop a pen. You either drop it or you hold it. You do or you do not. There is no try. That's what systemic is. Extrinsic, practical, situational, measurable things. These are things that we can test and measure in life and in business. These are things that are out there. What are those standards that you need to have set in the extrinsic world that we have around us? The situational experience that we are giving ourselves that we're going to give our customers and our clients. And then the third one, intrinsic, which is us, which is the most powerful out of all of these. This is infinite. Our personal, our spiritual, our human being, these things are irreplaceable. You see, the top end, systemic, easiest to change, least important. Extrinsic, middle of the ground. Intrinsic, most important, vital to who we are, because it's ingrained into who we are. It's irreplaceable. We can't shift it without major focus. When I ask you, what's your identity? If I were to say, you know what, I just think you need to change your identity tomorrow. You know, everything of who you are, everything that makes you up, everything that is who you are, you just need to change it. You can't do that just in a moment. Now, if I said, you know, we need to shift this one thing that we're doing, oh yeah, we can go do that. That's at the top end. Intrinsic is the most vital to who we are. So what are our values, personal, spiritual, who we are as human beings? What's the intrinsic values that we find? Focus on them first. Our health, our well-being. Extrinsic, we focus on those next. The practical, situational things that we have, our environment, things that we can measure and test and tweak over time and improve upon. And then finally, we then focus on systemic, which is the plans, the rules, the procedures. You see, when you look at the knowledge that we have and then how we apply that knowledge, that's where intrinsic and extrinsic kick in. And then what we do with it is then we get to see the systemic stuff, because now that we've gone and we've learned a whole bunch of stuff, now we can create a plan, the right plan, the path forward plan that we need, the prepare to sprint plan that our business requires. Then we can focus on the rules and the procedures and the systems and the how-tos and all of that. You start with the why, then you get to the what, and then you get to the how. Too many people focus on, well, you know, I just don't know how I'm going to do that, so maybe I shouldn't try. Maybe I shouldn't even start. It's like, no. The how will come. First and foremost, we need to make sure that we're on the right path first, the why. Are we doing things that fulfill us? Are we doing things that add to the values that we see for ourselves? Then we get to the what. Okay, so based on the why, now I need to figure out what to do. Now that I've figured out these milestones, I need to go learn a whole bunch of stuff, and now I can do the how. So, with wherever you're at right now, in life, in business, in your mindset, in the standards you set for you, what needs to pivot? What needs to shift and focus? What needs to be accelerated? Your brain responds to how your mind consistently thinks. We talked about this yesterday. The brain is the hard wiring. It's the physical thing in your head. It's the system. It follows a set of rules, and it always follows those rules. It just listens. It follows. Your mind is what guides it. The thought patterns, it's all the connectivity of thoughts coming in and thoughts going out, leading to the actions that we have. Our brains respond to how our minds consistently think. So the question becomes is, what are you doing consistently to make sure it's on the right path? What are you doing consistently to make sure that you're showcasing to your family, to your friends, to your team, to your customers, that you are here to lead, to guide, that you're good and then they're good? Because as long as our health and our mindset is healthy, we can go help others. We can go make sure they're good. And we can make sure that what we're doing helps them be happy. If a hamburger can make somebody happy, an entire company in 100 and some countries can make people around the world happy with their number one seller called a Happy Meal, I guarantee what you do can bring joy to somebody's life as well. I'm Dr. Michael Hartley. I'm here to elevate your business, enhance your lifestyle. Question becomes, what needs to pivot? how do you make sure the intrinsic, then the extrinsic, then the systemic items in life are where they need to be based off of the standards that you have set? If you have questions, type them in. We're here to get connected with you. We're here to answer your questions. We give out a whole bunch of stuff for free. If you're not currently a client, we'll give you a complimentary session. I give out 5 a week. So 10 hours of complimentary pro bono coaching goes out every single week to anyone who just hasn't, sat down with us yet. And we'll give you a complimentary 2 weeks in our networking. If you're looking to get connected and build community, which is really important right now, or if you just want to learn, we have an entire online education system that we'll give you access to as well. You see, we are here to pour out into you. And for those that want to take it seriously, take it to that next level, take it to what really needs to be put in place, then we can start talking about our other programs. Get connected with us, get started somewhere with us. You see, if you're just watching these and not taking action, you're wasting your time. You're just getting inspired and then doing nothing with it. You have to take this, you have to then implement it so that way you can pay it forward. If you have questions, type them in. If not, make it a great rest of your day, and bye for now. What questions might you have?